A lot of people know about renewable energy. They know that we're adopting renewable energy, and they might even know about different methods of generating energy renewably. But I think a lot of people don't know about some of the challenges with transmission. They don't understand all the details there.
Yeah, I think that's always the challenge for us as researchers. And we're talking about a transformational change here. So trust me, it's easy to get lost in the complexity.
Mother Nature delivered a 1-2 punch with snow and fierce winds. Powerful gusts helped bring down branches and huge trees. It crashed onto 3 cars and knocked down power lines.
We had a pretty rough ice storm here in Portland a couple weeks ago. I can't tell you how many generators I heard running in my neighborhood when we lost power for 6 days.
Crews are working to restore electricity, but with this many outages and in these conditions, it may take some time to get the lights back on.
Maybe that's front of mind for folks to think about a portable generator to power your fridge or something during an outage. Imagine if you didn't have the extension cord that plugged that in. So you wanted to power your fridge, but you didn't have the extension cord. That's what transmission is, right? And I think people understand that pretty clearly. So the challenge is we have many generators. Yeah, and the generators are very large.
The transmission system is huge. There's 360,000 miles of transmission lines in the United States and 44,000 miles in the Northwest. There's a bunch of players in this. It's the biggest industry in the world. There's providers and utilities, PGE, Pacific Core, BPA, EWEB, Northwest Natural. They're the utilities. You get the policymakers like the Oregon legislature, Governor Kotek. And then the regulators, the state level, it's the Oregon Public Utilities Commission, or the PUC, and the Energy Facility Siting Council. And then at the federal level, there's the alphabet soup of FERC, NERC, EPA is involved in that. And then there's this whole group of planners like the Northwest Power Planning Council. And then there's all the people that actually, the doers, the marketers of energy at the wholesale level, fuel resellers and solar installers. And then there's all the stakeholders that have a stake in all this and want to see it go one way or another. Environmental groups, the industry lobbyists. And then finally, there's the ratepayers, which is all of us. We're the ones who end up paying the bill. And so anybody that uses energy, which is everybody, is a ratepayer.
PacifiCorp is a regional utility that serves about 2 million customers in 6 western states. We own a vertically integrated generation, transmission, distribution network. That means we own much of the power that we use to generate electricity for our customers. We own the transmission system and we own the distribution system. Utilities are what we call a natural monopoly, and that developed at the turn of the last century. It didn't make sense to have a whole bunch of small companies serving the same function because you ended up with multiple power lines down the street. That didn't make sense. As the industry developed, natural monopoly areas made sense in terms of lower costs and higher reliability. The standard that we're held to in our role as an essential public service is safe, reliable electric service at a fair and reasonable cost. There are some essential public services in modern life that make civilized life possible. Sanitary sewer, clean drinking water, electric service. Those are the big 3. We take our role as an essential public service very seriously.
The electrical system is just incredible. It's the most complex operating machine in the world. So many moving parts, so many different things that have to be coordinated and brought to deliver you electricity at the quality that you expect. If we plug in any of our devices, if we plug in our fridge and we don't get the 120 volt, 60 hertz signal that thing's made for, it doesn't work well. And you can break equipment that way. The power quality is critical. The appliances we use and the loads we use to power the life that we enjoy, it all depends on a very specific range of frequency and voltage at the point of use.
So you've got the resource with the generation next to it, and then you create the electricity. It goes through the transmission system. It hits a substation, and then it gets dropped down in voltage to the local distribution system, and then it gets dropped down again and gets to your house. The reason they use the big transmission system is because it's very efficient and there's very little losses. And then stepping it down creates losses, and overall is like a 6% loss before it even gets to your house. But you have to keep stepping it down. 500,000 volts to 21,000 or 13,000 volts, and then 120 in your house.